Major soccer leagues around the world usually have promotions and relegations. Relegation occurs when the bottom teams in a league get relegated or get moved to a lower tier in their system. Promotion occurs when the top teams in a league get promoted to the next tier up. So why doesn't the MLS or Major League Soccer have promotion and relegation? We'll go over that and more in this video. Hey you, yes you, are you one of the 99% of viewers that are not subscribed to our channel? If so, scroll down and hit the subscribe button. When you're down there, be sure to also like this video. Now let's get back to this video. The MLS, or Major League Soccer, was founded in 1993 and began play in 1996. But when they started, they decided not to have promotions and relegations. Being such a startup league, a few of the main reasons were to build a foundation and for growth. When they first started, they only started with 10 teams. In major soccer leagues, most of those leagues have around 20-ish teams. This may differ on smaller leagues in Europe, but the main leagues such as Premier League, La Liga, Serie A usually have around 20-ish teams. When MLS started, they had 10 to begin with. 2 years later, they added 2 more, so they had 12. From there, they had some rough stretches where they lost teams, added some teams, but they've been recently adding teams ever since. Currently, they have 29. With the addition of San Diego in 2025, they'll have 30, with 27 being in the US and 3 being in Canada. They wouldn't have been able to grow this far in such a short period. From 1996 to 2025, 30 teams in 30 years. They wouldn't have been able to do that with a promotion and relegation system. It wouldn't have been feasible. We'll get more into that in the future in this video, but simply they didn't add that aspect to the MLS because they needed to build the foundation for the league and make it grow. Another aspect of the MLS not having promotion and relegations is the USA sporting culture. It can be seen in the MLS schedule, where the schedule is in the summertime primarily, where in other soccer or football leagues, those are mainly in the fall to spring. MLS is from the spring to the fall, so it's reversed. Part of that's because of weather, but part of that's just the competitive nature of the sporting culture in the United States, where you don't want to be competing with NCAA, football and basketball, NFL, NBA, which is all from around September to March, April, May. Speaking of other leagues, just looking at the top 4 leagues in the United States, the NFL, which is football, the NBA, which is basketball, the NHL, which is hockey, and the MLB, which is baseball. None of these 4 leagues have promotions and relegations. The fans of these sports, or the fans in the United States, like to have consistency just based on what they have currently, which means they want to have teams that they already know. They don't want to be following along with promotions and relegations. Because of the amount of leagues and the amount of sports that happen in America and the United States, it's just hard to be able to build that foundation and growth if they were to add promotion and relegation to begin with. That may change in the future. We'll touch on that before the end of the video. They want the best soccer players or football players to come to the United States. In order for that to happen, they had to have built a big enough league, a strong enough league, one that makes enough money to do that. Again, without promotion and relegation, that wouldn't have happened, or probably couldn't have happened, and we'll touch on that in the next topic. Ultimately, promotion and relegation, and why it probably didn't happen in the MLS, is really because of money. With promotion and relegation, it would be hard to convince owners and probably even advertisers and sponsors to support leagues or teams or even players to participate in a startup league with so many other alternatives. Again, in Europe, soccer, football is really the main sport. In America, there's 4 current major sports already, not including college athletics, which are main and major upon themselves. And then you have the MLS, which should be able to get in the top 5, but you're competing against tens of sports in the United States that already are gathering interest from fans, from sponsors, from advertisers, and from owners that are putting money into them. In order for the MLS to become successful and build that foundation, they couldn't add promotion and relegation to the league to begin with unless they already had guaranteed money flowing into the league, which they didn't. Which is why the league only started with 10 teams and added 12 right after that. And really, they didn't start growing until about 15 years ago. They were able to do so because of building that foundation to begin with. And then individuals or owners with money realized that the MLS wasn't going to fail, which meant those owners could invest in the MLS with teams and make money. From an advertiser sponsorship standpoint, they understood that the MLS wasn't going to fail. It's gathering more viewers, which means it was going to help them in their business. Players are starting to realize that the MLS is garnering more attention and is making more money than it has in the past, which is why Beckham came over, Zoltan, and now Messi. There's a reason why Messi took ownership in a club rather than making $500 million in a year over in Saudi Arabia. Part of it might be legacy, but part of it might be understanding that MLS is trying to become the soccer destination going forward. You can't have that with relegation and promotion at the current state of the MLS, and for sure not the previous state of the MLS. So it really boils down to money. You can't have an owner that pays $100 million for a franchise for a new team, and then 5 years later it gets relegated, and now it's only worth $5 million, and they don't have any sponsors or advertisers. They don't have any money to pay for players to get them promoted. It's a different landscape in the United States compared to Europe, especially with that competition that was previously mentioned. So it really boils down to money. And then like we mentioned, the MLS is trying to become the premier destination of soccer or football. And at the end of the day, that boils down to getting the best players. In order to get the best players, how do you do that? We can't get it from a legacy standpoint like other teams might have, like Barcelona, Madrid, Manchester United, Manchester City. How you get there is with money. In order for the MLS to become a top league, not only in the United States, they might be able to pass the NHL pretty soon to get in the top 4, but also internationally is money. You get top players by money. Going forward, though, will the MLS potentially consider promotion and relegation? Well, the MLS commissioner recently stated back in March of 2023 that they won't rule out promotion and relegation for the league in the future. He stated, as the league continues to grow and evolve and our fan base and the market continue and grow and evolve, I don't see any reason why we won't be thinking about new structures. I don't see how that works today, but I can't look far enough in the future to say never. Basically, what he's saying is the owners wouldn't want that, so they can't do that today. Could it occur in the future? Obviously, like he stated, potentially, but we'll see. We'd love to hear your thoughts on MLS relegation and promotion, and potentially what other structures, new structures, as the MLS commissioner stated, could come to fruition in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.